So my goal is to get all of these toys on these shelves by the first of the year. So I basically have to do them in bulk. So this really isn't going to be like a review. It's kind of just basically almost a haul video, but I'm going to crack all these open, which I'm not going to do that off the camera because I hate that sound of the plastic and I couldn't imagine listening to that. So anyway, we're going to check out this X-Force Deadpool. Yeah, I'm kind of behind. Black and Black Deadpool. Walgreens Medusa, which looks very similar. We will do a comparison with that. Walgreens Torch. This 2-pack that's pretty much on clearance everywhere because it's basically a figure that you probably already have. Luckily for me, I knew that this was coming out in a 2-pack, so I didn't buy him the first time. So it didn't sting as bad, but I paid full rip for it. And then you have Eco, the living planet, but he's not really a planet, he's a person, and that's just kind of weird, but I'm still looking forward to getting the toy. And then you have some of these classic ones. I didn't get them all, I did get the CAPT. I just basically got him because he did the scales, at least the lines, they didn't sculpt it. The Wolverine, just because he came with an unmasked version, I kind of felt like I would have bought 2 of these anyways. The Punisher, because I'm a complete sucker, and he comes with the red headband. So let's get into him. Alright, so I got them all opened up, standing next to each other for you can kind of check the scale, and if you look at them, they're basically all right about 6 inches tall, or really close, slightly above, slightly below, but for the most part 6 inches tall. Except for Wolverine, which he's a little bit smaller, he's supposed to be, and I'm glad that they really did that. So we'll check them out one at a time. We'll do some quick comparisons and just kind of an overlook of the figure. And we definitely don't have our time. Classic Cap out of the package. I went ahead and pulled out the Mezco. I know that's really not a fair comparison considering that's an $80 toy and this is a $20 toy. And then you have over here an older Cap with sculpted on scale lines, but that is something that's really cool to me versus painted lines, sculpted lines. You can't really mess with that. I do like this classic Cap. He's nice and clean. The color really pops. He kind of stands out on your toy shelf, or at least he will when I get him over there. On this Mezco Cap, he's still by far my favorite. Like I just think they really did a good job on that. The scales on that are like actually like, well, they're not sculpted, but this fabric, but they're actually like individual skulls. So that thing is pretty cool. This thing, he does come with an alternate hand. If you don't want to use this throwing effect, I don't know why you want it. Probably because you probably already own it. But it's just really cool, and I feel as if I just have to use it. The back of the figure, basically the same. He's clean, he's cool. It just sucks like when they do these one-off characters that you don't get a build-a-piece. So basically I'm sitting here looking at 9 figures that didn't come with a build-a-piece. So that kind of sucks because I'd have 2 more BAF figures sitting over here if they came in. Then we have this vintage brown Wolverine, which basically is the same exact Wolverine that you already have. Except for I like how this one's painted a little bit better. If you look at the boots, they're definitely a different color. I like this is the classic one. This is the new one. He comes with a masked and unmasked head, which is a really nice touch. If they would have put that in this package, I would have actually bought 2 anyways. So it doesn't really matter. Like I actually like this choice better because now he's slightly a different color. This one they took the time to paint hair on his arms. This one they didn't. I just think that the newer one, or the classic one, is just a better looking toy. As far as the head sculpt, this unmasked head sculpt, really cool. And then they did it, which I always like when they do this, they do it for the hood comes down. So if you're gonna do it unmasked, definitely give me the hood down option thing. I think that's really cool. Up until this one came out, this was like the only brown Wolverine that we really had to work with, which I thought that he was pretty good and still stands up. Like I think this is a great toy, but I definitely like the improvements on this one. Normally I'm the guy that gets pissed off every time he sees that they're remaking a figure that I already have, but I guess in some cases you really do need to do that. The back of this figure, you know, really clean. Nothing here that stands out except for that his hood is down like that. I just really like that. The unmasked head sculpt on this thing I think they did a great job. Like, that thing just looks really good. The claws do come out, but then he has like that weird hole in his hand, because I was thinking maybe I could take that out. I took one out. I didn't like the hole, so I went ahead and put the claw back in. I thought that might be a nice little touch to have the unmasked with no claws, but then that's just weird, because then what do you do with those claws? You throw them in your drawer, and that thing is getting rather full. Basically, heads, hands, repair kit. Here's this Human Torch. I didn't pull out all the Human Torches. I just pulled out some of my favorites, because I really like Human Torch, and I think they've made some really good ones, you know, in the past. So this thing, I think they did a pretty good job. I don't understand why the head is so orange. It's like it doesn't match the body. And then the feet, like, they're kind of like too red. It's like, I wish you kind of wanted to just use the same plastic or just blended it a little bit better. I also don't like their body choice on that thing. I think that the body's too big. It's just too buff. Like, I think they should have used a smaller body like Spider-Man or somebody like that. I went ahead and pulled out some of these other ones, because it's like, is this new one my favorite one? Is definitely not. I think they used the wrong body. I'm glad that they took the time to sculpt some flames on it, and we'll take a look at that in a second. You have this one, which I think this one actually looks really good. Plus, he shoots like a little fireball. I love this old school one with these black lines on it. And plus, he comes with like a fire base. This one I also think they did a really good job on. He also comes with a fire base. Then we have the House at M1 over here, which this is just kind of weird, but it is a cool toy. On this thing, it comes with alternate hands. You can change those off. That's not really an option. It comes with the fireballs, which I just kind of slid them on. That little backpack, little fire back thing. That thing comes right off. I don't know why you'd want to do that. These things, I just have them setting on here because he comes with fire sculpted hands, like kind of like forearms, which I think that's a really cool touch. So that's a must. And a fireball. I'll go ahead and throw that on there too. Also on his feet, like the obvious line in that, it just kind of kills the figure. Like, it just, the start and stop. I don't know why they couldn't have used the same plastic on that. That really makes the toy look cheap. It's just kind of like, I'm glad you guys sculpted that little bit of fire down there, but it's just kind of like, who cares, because the plastic doesn't match. Like the forearm plastic, you guys did a pretty decent job on that. And then I don't know, man, you guys definitely off on this toy. And another thing, you're doing like these Walgreens exclusive single carded figures, and then you don't have any big accessories. Like, you're not giving us a bath piece in this thing, which definitely kind of sucks. So you think that you could like take up that void and like give us like a cool stand or a cool accessory, something other than a fireball that you've used many times in the past. Like, that just kind of sucks. It's the same price, and it's like we're not getting the same price, the same amount of toys. So I do like it. He's not my favorite one. I'm glad I have him in my collection, but he's definitely one I could have passed on if I had any. All right, I thought we were done. We're far from done. As I was putting these toys away, I happened to notice, because, I mean, I obviously don't play with my toys as often as I should, that this amazing base has like these little holes in the bottom of it. And I was like, God, that's weird. Why is there little holes there? And then I flipped it over. I noticed that there was a battery pack. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, there's no way. Is it possible? Is it? And so I saw that there was a button on here. You push the button, and this is amazing. Like, this toy is like at least 10 years old. The batteries still work. Check this out. This is toys back when they used to be cool. And I know that you guys are like, oh, well, come on, guys. This is all the same body repainted. This is an amazing toy. Let me show you why. Because it's an action figure with an action, and I love it. Okay, dude, he says flame on, and he lights up. Like, I mean, maybe I'm old school, but that thing, it just really does it for me. Flame on! Couple more times, just because I can't get enough. I'm sorry. Flame on! Flame on! Flame on! All right, I mean, come on, guys. That's an amazing toy. Like, I guess this thing like plugs into the figure somehow, like, and then the wire runs up. There's a little light in here. Like, Man, that is so cool. Like, I just love my old action figures so much more than my new action figures. Come on, guys. Care again. Do something, like, cool. Like, could you imagine if this thing had, like, a light-up feature or something? Like, how much better that would be? Am I the only one that feels this way? Now, what do you have to say? Alright, then you have this Medusa, and I was like, alright, no way. You're not getting me this time. I'm not buying that Medusa. I just got this other Medusa. You're not going to get me again. And then I saw it, and I was like, well, wait a second. It's in a totally different costume. If you're going to give me a totally different costume, sure, why not? I'll go ahead and get one more. And this thing, once again, Hasbro missed opportunity, which I do like this old one a lot, and I like this new one just as much. The old one has heels. She's impossible to stand. She will not stand up at all. The new one just has flats, which she wouldn't stand either, but she can actually lean on her hair, so she stands just fine as long as you do that. And here's my issue with this. This is Medusa. This is a really cool Inhuman character. For heaven forbid you actually make all of the Inhumans instead of just keep remaking Medusa and Black Bolt. But that's not the issue here. The issue is, could you imagine if they would have given us a new hair, like a new hair sculpt that was actually like crazy and like would come up and could actually hold an action figure? That would have been amazing. But you didn't want to do that. You just said, screw it, let's just repack the same exact hair again. And like the hair is cool. It just doesn't do anything. Like, it looks cool for sure, but it just seems like, God, you could have did so much with this action figure. So much. So many cool possibilities. And you guys didn't do any of them. So there's Medusa. Once again, no accessory, no bath, no whatever. But she does look kind of cool. And if you missed that on this other one, I guess this is a nice option for you. You have this classic Punisher, which this is also another one that I really wanted to pass on. But when I saw the difference, I was like, okay, maybe I definitely do need this thing. This thing doesn't have like the harness thing on him, which I do like the harness, but he looks really cool without it. He comes with the red headband, which basically is the same as the white headband, but they painted it red, and you know that I'm a sucker. He does come with this alternate head, but I have so many alternate heads already without a headband on. I figured this would be a good time to use this red headband. This thing doesn't really come with any weapons at all. It comes with that bazooka, which is just a reuse off of some other figure that you already have. And I went ahead and pulled the pistol out of the drawer. This one at least has trigger fingers. This one does not. And I guess that was one of the issues. And that's kind of one of their excuses they used to remake it, which I really don't feel as if there's a need. Is this my favorite Punisher? No, absolutely not. As far as Toy Biz goes, or Marvel Legends, Hasbro, whatever, this one is by far my favorite, and I think that's really good. If you want to talk about favorites, I gotta lean towards Mezco. Best Punisher that I own. A little upset at Mezco right now because you guys dicked me out of that classic Punisher. I would love to have that thing in my collection, but I'm not paying 300 bucks on eBay for it. So if you ever remake it, I will definitely get one. It just sucks that I don't have that one in my collection. As far as the back of this figure goes, well, nothing real exciting there. I probably should just cut the video short on that one. Then you have this Hascon exclusive Deadpool, which you know you're getting this again in that next set of Deadpool figures. Come on, who do you think Deadpool 3 and 4 is? I guarantee this is either 3, and if not, it's probably 4, which kind of sucks on that. Because what's the point of having an exclusive if you're just gonna re-release it all the time? Like, and then it's like if you put a build-a-piece in there, then you basically completely screwed everybody the first time that they bought this, because now they have to buy it again to get a build-a-piece. So I hope that that doesn't happen. Hopefully you'll just put them in the package to where I can actually pass on them and feel good about it. This thing comes with the blast effect, comes with the same bazooka you got before, the same alternate head that comes with before. Has these weird space pistols that kind of suck, and I don't really like how they painted them. Then also this weird like laser cannon thing here. I don't know about that either. As far as Deadpool goes, he's basically this one right here. They put on some different boots, which is kind of cool. But then when you look at this one and you look at his different boots, like he actually has like a little buckle. They pretended like they cared a little bit more. It just, the older toys were definitely, to me, they definitely tried a little bit harder. I think that this one should have had this harness instead of this harness, but they didn't feel like doing that either because they didn't have one already made. As far as the back of the figure goes, his cannon does say boom on it this time, which is kind of cool. It comes with the same swords that you got before. I don't know. I mean, he's a great Deadpool. I guess that's why I got it. The only thing that I really like about this gun is that it comes with this little, if I can get it out with one hand, it's definitely a struggle. Man, maybe I should have like stopped the camera and actually tried to do this with two hands. Man, that thing is in there. Really need two hands right now. Alright, it's out. It's free. This is the only accessory that he comes with that I think is really cool, because it definitely looks like a dart gun or a squirt gun or something. I like how they painted the tip orange. That's Deadpool to me. That's really cool. Really nice touch. The rest of it, basically, he's just a gray version of a red toy that you already have. But for some reason, I'm a sucker, so I went ahead and got him. Then you have this black and black Deadpool, which I actually thought this was kind of cool, but it's basically just your typical, what do we have laying around, what can we repaint, and what can we stick together, and then who can we make out of it figure from Hasbro. So it's basically, this head looks really familiar with this head. These hands also look really familiar with these hands. This little backpack tentacle thing, I wonder where that came from. The swords, same swords you got before, except for now they're painted a different color. The taco, they didn't give us the taco because that would have been too cool. I went ahead and pulled that out of the accessory drawer because I figured, why not? I got an extra tentacle hand, and I'm going to go ahead and put something in it. Had an extra sword left over because I went ahead and went with the Spider-Man hand, although I could have changed it out, went double-fisted with the sword hand. I didn't go that route. This thing doesn't have anything to hold a gun or a sword or anything. So basically, he just has to walk around and carry him all the time, which obviously I think this toy is pretty cool because, as you see, I'm a sucker and I bought two of them. The only reason why I did that is because he displays really well two different ways. The two different heads is a must. The tentacles, the different hands, I kind of felt as if like I needed two of them. Probably didn't, but I went ahead and got two. Man, when you look at it, I probably have like four of them. Either way, there's this black and black Deadpool. The back of them, I guess I'll go ahead and show you. Those things just plug in his back. You probably already knew that though. The swords, you got to put them in his little gripper thing sideways. That's why they're all facing sideways, or else they'll just fall out. The taco, you just got to stuff in there. However, there's that black and black Deadpool, kind of Venom, whatever. I like him. He's cool. No build-a-piece. Alright, then you have this 2-pack, and this 2-pack, man, this thing is basically on clearance everywhere. Like, if I go to my Target, I think they still have some of the original ones still sitting there. Like, nobody is touching this. And the reason for that is because it comes with this guy. He's supposed to look like a planet. He doesn't look anything like a planet. He basically looks like a guy that's slightly overweight and has a gray beard. And this is what's weird about this figure, is that he comes with two heads, two alternate heads, and I can't really tell a difference between the two. Like, they look exactly the same to me, which is weird. I don't know why you even bother doing that. Like, come on, man. Like, okay, maybe there's slightly, it's just, God, that is like the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Why waste your time? Like, the figure itself is actually pretty cool. It's definitely a one-off sculpt. They put tons of money in the movie line. And then all those comic book fans, like, we definitely get ripped off and we just get nothing but repaints as far as that goes. But if you're into the movie line, they definitely kill it. Like, look at this thing. Tons of texture, tons of sculpt, tons of detail. The paint job is awesome. The likeness is perfect. Man, they do a good job on their movie line. I just really wish they would do something similar. Just give us a little bit of love on the comic book line, because that's what started all this, and it's like all you guys really care about is movie line. On the short jacket version, thank God I passed on the first one. I passed on it for one, it didn't come with the build-a-piece, or else I would have two of these. It didn't, and I kind of had a tip that this thing was coming out in a 2-pack, and it did, so now I only have one, so I don't feel bad about this purchase at all. I actually like the small jacket on them. I think that looks a little bit better than the long jacket. It has a cool like printed t-shirt underneath. Not real sure what it says. I don't really speak that language, I think. Or whatever it is. I do like the masthead on this thing. That's always like definitely, I don't like the human character head thing. So the masthead is always an optional, although the unmasked head actually looks really nice. I think the likeness is actually really good. Like that thing looks amazing. It just, the mask is just so much cooler. He does come with guns. You can clip them on his little belt right here, same as all the other ones you have. I just dropped his little cassette player or whatever. It actually clips on his belt right here too. You probably already know this because you got like 4 of these things on your shelf already. That's the wrap up of the haul. That's it. That's finally it's done. This video is probably like, I don't know, like 7 hours long. If you're still watching it. If you are, thanks for watching.
Did you find anything?
Yeah, 5 pigs. Come to Alaska. Nobody collects toys up here apparently.